This is Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt."
Kind. All right. Read that one more time. Our people are led as a sheep to the slaughter. Read that again.
It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
Yep.
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt."
I will not suffer them now. This is why this word is coming out. See, how are we being led as sheep to the slaughter? By all these false philosophies, by all these puppet leaders, by all these wicked, again, by all these wicked legislations, man. By all these so-called experts. Read that again.
Second Ezra 15 and 10. It said, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt."
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Bondage. Soon from now, we're going to be taken out of this state of bondage, man. The Lord Yahawashi, the Savior, He's going to break those bonds. Right now, right now, what's being done spiritually through us bringing out this word. Soon, it's going to be done physically when you crack those skies open, all right, and bring destruction. When that fire issue out of them ships, man. Go ahead and bring that out.
It says, verse 12. It said, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawah shall bring upon it."
And so far, slowly but surely, that's what you're seeing. All right. The scriptures talk about wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. You got all these riots going on around the earth right now. You got all these people that are in an uproar. Everybody's looking to everybody trying to depose puppet leaders and depose puppet officials. Okay, we're living in a time of great disparity in the way of civil living. Things are getting a lot less civil in the world. There's a lot of fighting going on, a lot of death, and it's coming to the United States of America. All right? Go ahead and bring that up.
It says, verse 12, it said, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawah shall bring upon it." It said, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation.
Yep.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh."
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Okay? You're hearing a lot of talk about sanctions being put on these different nations. Why do you think that is? But it's not stopping them from having nukes. Okay? All right. So then continue that there, bro.
It said, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another people." Salakia. Stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
And we're seeing that as we speak now. Nation rising against nation. All right? And again, you have a lot of civil unrest. You have a lot of infighting going on too. All right? Go ahead and bring it.
This is verse 16. It said, "For there shall be sedition among men."
For there shall be sedition among men. Okay? What does the scripture say? If a house be divided by itself, how can it stand? Right? Yeah, you got something.
It says, "And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able."
There you go. And shall not be able. All right? Continue that, bro. If you had something to bring out, go ahead and bring it.
All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 49. It said, "I will send plagues upon the widow, upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death." So it says, "I will send plagues upon thee widowhood, which meaning like the husband's gonna be killed, because you know you're gonna have wars, you're gonna have men that go off and get killed. Poverty, which like we were saying earlier about the U.S. economy, it's gonna start going down to where you're gonna see more and more poverty. It says famine, you know what I mean, there's gonna be shortages of food. That's why, like, you know what I mean, a couple years ago, they had all those government agencies stocking up on ammunition and all this stuff. And they were giving them to, like, you know, the USDA and all that kind of stuff. What do they need with the guns and hollow point bullets and all that stuff for?
Especially all that military equipment.
Sword and pestilences. All these diseases and all that stuff, chemical warfare and all that, to waste our houses with destruction and death, because the Most High set all those things up to cause, you know, to cause this to come about.
Yeah, that's their judgment.
The second Ezra is 15 and 55. It said, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore shalt thou receive recompense. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall Yahawah do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Because the Most High is going to allow these things to basically happen as a punishment to America for its wickedness. It said, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall Yahawah do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. It says, thy children shall die for hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field.
There you go. Hey, the Lord is going to recompense double the dirt that you did to us, Esau. All right? The cup which he hath filled to their death. Hey, that's what the Lord getting ready to do. All right? And not only is the Lord going to be the one doing dirt, the Lord going to be putting the Spirit on his people to do dirt. The scriptures say that the Lord's people are his battle axe and weapons of war. We're going to be stomping your heads in as well, Esau. You so-called white people. And all you other nations that had a hand in us being in slavery. We're going to break our foots off up in that ass, man. All right? Go ahead, bro.
This is 2 Ezra 16, verse 3.
Yep.
It said, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
There you go. And that goes back to what we've been saying this entire time. You bastards don't have any backing. Your science will not be able to help you. Your military will not be able to help you. Your soothsayers, your witches, your sages, your warlocks, none of that shit's going to save you, Esau. You are done. The Most High controls all of that. You're finished. Go ahead, bro.
The 2 Ezra 16 and 7. It said, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer.
A rhetorical question, which the answer is no. All right? Go ahead and bring it.
It said, the mighty Lord sendeth the plague, and who is he that can drive them away?
And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Who is he that can drive them away? All right? The Lord is letting you know that there is absolutely nothing you can do when he bring that judgment upon you. Continue.
It says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it?
I don't know how much more clearly that can be made. Read that again.
It said, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it?
A fire shall go through of his wrath, and who is he that will, again, what are you devils gonna do when the Most High put that destruction upon you? Not a thing. Alright? He's gonna put the Spirit on y'all to fight, but ultimately you're gonna lose that fight. The scriptures say that Satan and his angels shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome him. Alright? You have no hope, Esau. None. And all of you that are joined to this wicked man, you're going to perish right alongside him. And that includes 2/3. All right?
Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 13. It said, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the end of the world.
Yep, these thermonuclear fires, these thermonuclear missiles, these ICBMs, man, they're not going to miss their targets. All right? And it's going to be the Lord that's going to shoot those arrows, man. He going to put them spirits on these people, and they're going to, hey, what's that movie, The Terminator? Yeah, it's going to be just like that. When them arrows fall, that's it, man. That's going to be the ultimate cleansing agent right there. That thermonuclear fire. Go ahead and continue that, Aki.
It said, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plague that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again.
That's right. All these plagues. The main plague being these thermonuclear missiles, man. They will not return back. You can tell.
Alright, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 17. It said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? It said, the beginning of sorrows, great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So it says the beginning of sorrows and great mourning. It's just like we talk about, you know what I mean? There's going to come a time when, just like I read in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, when, you know, first and foremost, you know, it's not going to be looking too bright for the future of America, Babylon. When the Most High is going to basically wipe the smiles off these people's faces. He's going to wipe away the proud continence of these people. And he's going to humble them through bringing down their economic system, and ultimately bringing down their society.
Yep.
So it said the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, like we talk about World War III. And the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And that's a rhetorical question. Because Israel, you know what I mean, for Israel, there's for the elected Israel, there's hope on this side. But for the rest of these people out here, there's no hope, basically.
None.
You know what I mean? Nothing they do or say or whatever, no matter what president they elect, no matter what other changes that they adapt or whatever, there's nothing that they could do to stop the prophecies that are coming to pass through the scriptures.
Right.
It said, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
No.
So no matter, you know what I mean, no matter what we say, no matter how much we rebuke the society, they're not going to turn from their wickedness. They're going to continue in their folly and their wickedness until the Most High basically destroys them.
That's it.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 40. It said, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils but even as pilgrims upon the earth. So it says, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils, even the pilgrims upon the earth. So, you know what I mean? We got to hear what the Most High is saying, and we got to get ourselves in order. You know what I mean? The Most High is not just saying what he's saying in the scriptures for GP. He's telling us so that we'll get ourselves in order.
Right, got it.
That's why the Most High sent us out here. You know what I mean? We're out here in the rain and in the elements and the heat and all that stuff because we gotta tell our people.
This is quick precept. This is Joel chapter 1 verse 15. Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. I don't know how much more plain that can be made. Let me read that one more time. Salaki. This is Joel chapter 1 and verse 15. Alas, for the day of the Lord, Yahawah, is at hand. And again, it's not going to be all sunshine and lollipops. It's not going to be everybody hugging one another, everybody shaking hands, everybody's at peace. That's not what's coming. Listen to what the scriptures say, all right? For the day of the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. Destruction, to deconstruction, to be destroyed, all right? To be thrown down. Continuing on, verse 16. Is not the meat cut off before our eyes? Yea, joy and gladness from the house of our power. Okay? So, this place is getting ready to see destruction. The day of the Lord is a day of destruction. Alright? That's what we've been here trying to say this entire time. Alright? That's what we've been here saying this entire time. The Lord speaking through us. Now we can go back to what you got. Let's want to get that precept in there real quick.
It's like the second Ezra is chapter 16, verse 45.
Right.
It says, and therefore they that labor in vain.
There you go. Yeah, read that one more time. So for they that labor.
Second Ezra 16 and 45. It says, and therefore they that labor in vain.
Why? Because I just read it in the book of Joel, man. The day of the Lord is a day of destruction. All right? The scriptures say that the fashion of this world shall pass away. And every single day we're seeing more and more evidence of that. That's coming. Okay? America is not the place of promise that it once was. All right? And all these other nations aren't afraid of America no more. The wool's been pulled from over their eyes.
2 out of 9.
Yeah.
This is Second Ezra. It's like Second Ezra is chapter 16, verse 22. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Wow. Read that one more time, please.
Second Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Okay, so you got those that are going to be destroyed by famine. You can't find no food, therefore you're going to keel over and die. But then you're going to have them that's going to survive the famines. Well, okay, so they survive the famines. They're going to run into somebody that's going to kill them. Somebody that's going to rob them for everything they got and then ultimately put them to death. That's what's coming. That's what's coming, all right? Yeah, bring that out.
This is Second Ezra 16 and 23. It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
For the earth shall be wasted. What's another word for wasted? Destroyed. Completely and utterly demolished. All right? Continue that, bro.
It says, verse 27, it says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of a field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks.
And it's funny because you see a lot of that illustrated in movies nowadays, man. Like a lot of these apocalyptic based films, they act like, where do you think they get the material that they're putting in these movies? They're getting it from these scriptures, okay? That's why stuff like Walking Dead is so popular. That's why movies like Bushwick are so popular. That's why a lot of these movies, especially a lot of these propaganda type movies that people are trying to basically get on the bandwagon with, that cash cow stuff with. I know, right? So I'm trying to ignore him. All right. These movies are based on things that are getting ready to pass. These things are coming to the United States of America. This place is getting ready to be reduced to a third world nation, all right? Where survival is going to be a luxury. Go ahead and bring that.
So verse 28, it says, "For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in its thick groves
That's
and
how
in
much
the cluster of the rocks."
That's how much destruction is coming to this place, man. You're going to have lands that are going to be so degraded and destroyed. It's going to be impossible to inhabit these lands, man. There's going to be so much death and destruction taking place that people are going to be scattering like roaches. All right? Go ahead and bring that, bro.
It said, "Even so in those days that shall be there," so like, even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
It said, "The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands.
Yep.
The daughters shall mourn, having no helpers.
Yep.
In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine."
Yep, there you go. See, and that's how the pride of Esau is going to be ultimately brought down. Just by that, right there. You hear that? Right there. Your military is not going to be so mighty anymore.
No, but you guys didn't feel like
Without overcomplicating things. All right?
You're saying that the reason why these fires and storms is occurring in different places on earth, they're coming down here to live.
Continue.
It says, "The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine."
Bring it up.
Yeah, it said the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. So, you know what I'm saying? The women, the men are going to be killed off. So the women are going to be mourning that there's no men or whatever. Like, you know, there's gonna be a humbling scene too. It said, "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of Yahawah, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake." It said, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." It said, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." So all these things that we're talking about, they're coming closer and closer to fruition, and they're not gonna stop. It says, "And when a all right, so this is verse 37. It said, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side."
That's it. Bring it out, bro.
Yeah, so basically was giving an analogy of a woman giving birth. And just like how, you know what I mean, before they give birth, you see signs and symptoms or whatever. And we're seeing the sign and symptoms of the destruction, the downfall of Babylon coming to pass.
And these signs and these symptoms are debilitating. Okay? She's not even able to function. Simple things like walking is an impossibility. That's how debilitating that is going to be. America's going to ultimately shut down when them pains hit America, man. So that's what's being spoken of there, like the brother said. Go ahead. All right.
I'm making fun of darling, but I don't know where you put it.
All right. So like this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 54. "Behold, the Lord knoweth all the works of men, their imagination, their thoughts, and their hearts."
God, exactly, because he controls it all. All right. The scriptures say that even the hearts of the kings are in the hands of the Lord. Okay. And why is that? Because as it is written, every word that the Lord speaketh, it shall not come back unto him void. All right. The Most High is the director of this movie. He's the producer of this movie. He controls everything. All right. Straight up and down. Go ahead.
So like it's 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 64. It said, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with the things offered unto idols.
God damn, that's powerful. Read that one more
For
time.
behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Being idle with things offered unto idols, man. So what's that great multitude talking about? You see what I'm saying? That's talking about them different curses and things that's getting ready to come upon this place. All right? And our people are way too big on idol worship. All we do is idol worship.
Cars,
2/3 of y'all.
phones.
Okay? Go ahead, bro.
And also the mark of the beast, or RFID microchip.
Yeah.
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot.
Yep, you're basically going to be bought low. You're going to be bought to a great perdition. Read that one more time.
It said, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot.
That's it.
But there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Let me look at that word insurrection. Can you read that one more time, please?
For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection on upon those that fear the Lord. So there's going to come a time when the men of the Most High, or those that seek the Lord, they're going to be basically persecuted. Just like how, you know what I mean, in the Roman Empire, you know what I mean, the people that were considered Christians, you know what I mean, they were killing them, hunting them down, all that stuff. So in these days, you're going to have that same thing going on. That's why you got, like, for example, case in point, you got something, there was an article, it was called like the 72 characteristics or whatever the government or whatever looks for it and calls like domestic terrorists or whatever. But on that list, 2 things that would fit us would be people that believe in last day Bible prophecies and people that preach what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Basically, for lack of a better word, people that try and preach the Bible but convert other people. You know what I mean?
Right. A prophet.
False prophets.
So basically the word insurrection here in the etymology, when you look it up, comes from the Latin insurgere, which means to rise up.
No, I was gonna say the word I was looking for slightly is evangelical.
Evangelical, yeah. Yeah, but that's the definition of the word. Read that scripture again, by the way, out. It's going to be a great insurrection.
It said, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
And the word insurrection means a violent uprising against an authority or government.
We're gonna have to move this anyway, so.
You see?
Oh shit.
There you go.
Bruh.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
And again, we're coming into the time now, like for example, they're bringing back the guillotine.
Oh yeah.
All right, through legislation. And the guillotine is going to be used round the clock, just like during the time of the French Revolution. The guillotine was basically running round the clock. Eventually, they even executed King Louis with that, with the guillotine. So that's what's getting ready to come right back into being used again.
What is it?
Okay?
My ass, what is it?
The guillotine is like a execution device that they use when they would put people's heads in it and like chop them off.
Can I ask you a question, brother? What's going to wake the sisters up? The sisters who want to idolize the Europeans, who want to be white, want to be dykes, lesbians. What's going to wake them up? Is they going to wake up or they're going to have to, be punished?
I got a scripture. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And basically what the scripture is talking about the daughters of Zion, which would be our women, the Israelite women. It says in that day 7, which the word 7 it means like a completion, or a complete number. You know, like to say, I mean, not to get all in, but like numerology or whatever, 7 means completion.
Yes, exactly.
So in that day, 7 women shall take hold. And take hold is basically talking about to fasten or seize. Shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Because like according to the law, you know what I mean, your wife, you're supposed to supply certain things like the food and clothing, raiment, and all that stuff. So that's kind of what that's alluding to. Only let us be called by thy name, because you know, just say like when a woman marries a man, her husband, she takes on his name. And then it says, we will wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And reproach is basically shame.
Get Isaiah 32 and 9 if you can.
Isaiah chapter 32 verse 9. It says, it said, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come.
Now read that from the top. You're outside.
It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech.
So this is the Most High saying, give ear, ye careless women, you women out here that basically ain't trying to hear the truth. All right, you so-called black women that want to be dykes, you want to be allied to the enemy, and all sort of dumb
Where's
shit.
that again?
Continue that,
Isaiah
bro.
what again?
It says,
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse what now? 9?
Verse 9.
Yeah.
It says, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled.
Many days and years shall ye be troubled. This is their judgment. Continue that.
It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come.
For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. When you get a chance, you can look up that word vintage too. So basically, all of these different luxuries that these women enjoy nowadays, it's not going to be available to them anymore. The gathering shall not come. No more taxpayer dollars to fucking feed these damn women, man. No more.
So they will suffer.
No, right? They're gonna suffer.
They turn their backs on the Holy Spirit.
No more food stamps. No more.
Well, that's for us. That's
no more
man
Section
too.
8. None of that. All of these things are gonna fail in that day. That's what this is saying. That's gonna be that woman's judgment. Continue that, bro. If you have it.
We all get